Since we moved into our house, Cedar and I have had different ideas on the doors. We've wanted to do some sort of an old-fashioned craftsman style door since the beginning, but I wanted a 3-panel door and she wanted a 5-panel door. We went back and forth, and I tried to talk her into my vision, and she tried to help me see her point of view, but the house remained doorless in the meantime. We've had tarps and blankets posing as doors during this time. Finally, Cedar gave in to my point of view, and I went down to pick up the 3-panel doors that I wanted. Ironically, the 3-panel doors were back ordered, and it was going to be quite some time before we could get them. So I then drove over to one of the big box stores, and I found these single panel craftsman style doors that were actually a solid pine door versus a foam core, and I sent a picture to Cedar to see what she thought. She liked them, I liked them, we found our compromise. I then loaded up all the doors and headed back to the ranch as quick as I could because, as usual, another storm was coming in. Once I got the first couple of doors installed downstairs, I compared them to the shaker cabinets, and both Cedar and I realized just how much we liked them. Simple, clean, perfect. Now almost all of the interior walls in the house are a 2x4 wall, except for the downstairs bathroom and bedroom. If you remember, this is an exterior wall, so not only is it a 2x6 wall, but it has the thickness of the OSB and the drywall, which means I'll have to add onto the 2x4 casing and make it work. Now, we considered trying to track down some old, antique 5-panel doors, but more than likely those doors would be covered in a lead-based paint, and who knows how long it would take to find the size that we needed. So spending $150 on each one of these doors that's ready to be installed was perfect. Now, because the house does not have a heating or an air conditioning system, this means the only venting these bedrooms have is actually through the floor, where the heat from the fireplace is designed to come up through. But these doors sit quite close to the floor, so before I paint, I will likely cut about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch off the bottom of the door, allowing more air movement through the house. The doors went in quite easily. I'm going to have to replace the stainless hinges that they came with either a black or a bronze hinge at some point. But for now, we actually have some privacy. I truthfully love the idea of taking old things, giving them a new lease on life, and putting them somewhere in the house where it looks good. I looked for almost a year to find just the right door for our pantry. Because it's technically part of the kitchen, and because it will be seen regularly, we wanted to do something unique and special.
Wait, is this for the pantry?
Yes. After months of looking, I found this old door about an hour and a half away, and it was pretty beat up, but the price was right, and it most definitely had the look. Again, Cedar and I went back and forth on whether to do it white or black, but we both decided black would be the right look. I used some Bondo to fill some unnecessary holes in the door, and then put a couple of coats of gloss black paint on the door. I left all the nicks and imperfections as the plan is to distress it and let it show its age. Nothing better than having a couple of goats and a couple of cats sniffing around while I'm working. If you knew where to look on the door, you would see where one cat jumped up on it while the paint was still wet. The goats have figured out how to get the gate open, but they stay close by, so for the most part we just let them wander around. Come summertime, I'm going to have to pour a driveway and get a basketball standard mounted and installed. I've got to do something to change the energy that Reed puts into soccer and help him to put that into basketball. Although I spent a lot of time playing soccer as a kid as well.
Good job, buddy. see through it, but I like it. Kind of looks like an outside door.
It probably was outside.
One of the worst injuries I ever had was after soccer practice when I was about 11 or 12 years old. And one of the other kids on the team thought it'd be fun to horseplay. Then he proceeded to do something to get my attention, and I took off running after him directly into the afternoon sun. And because I was so much taller than him, when he ran into the monkey bars, I ran into the monkey bars at a full clip, which led to about 40 stitches across the top of my head, a broken vertebrae in my neck, and another nasty concussion. That particular concussion I can remember, because from that point on, my equilibrium was never the same.
You could see yourself just sitting there on my chair. I'm staring at you, you don't even notice. Should've told you straight away, you don't have to be afraid anymore. I know you haven't noticed.
About 7 years later, both Cedar and I and our oldest daughter, Sage, were in a car accident, and after x-rays, the doctors asked me what I'd done to break my neck. I laughed, I thought it was a joke, and he showed me this x-ray of my neck, which showed an old break in one of the vertebrae that had since healed the best that it could. I struggled with neck injuries and migraines for many, many years after this. I wish I could say that was my last concussion, but that was not hardly the case. After getting the pantry door installed and looking at it right next to the back door, black was definitely the right color. I used a razor blade to scrape the black paint off the edges and the corners, and it came out perfect. After letting the concrete sit and cure for about 5, even 6 days, we needed to get it sealed before it got any more stains on it. The sealer we have came with the forms. It's called an aquathane sealer. And this is another one of those do as I say, not as I do moments, where I used a wool roller instead of the foam pad that they recommended. And so it went on quite a bit thicker than if I'd followed their instructions. But either way, it turned out great. I put the first coat on, waited 4 hours, put a second coat on, and it ended up with a satin matte finish. There are a few imperfections and dark spots here and there, but it fits in perfectly. The next project I will do to get Cedar's kitchen finished will be a brick backsplash behind the countertops, as well as a brick veneer on the back of the island. We're really looking forward to doing this. Now, over the last few years, we've had subscribers send us things here and there. Whether it's a Christmas card, whether it's a handmade item of some kind, and we always value these things. One of you guys decided to go above and beyond and find a few very unique poses of me and my dog, put them into a picture frame, and send them to us. His name is Jared, and he's a firefighter. He spent some time looking through some videos and came up with 3 beautiful pictures of Ruger, one of which I absolutely love for obvious reasons. Thank you, Jared. Now, when I framed the front porch and the back addition, I framed it to handle over a 100-pound snow load. Frankly, it could probably handle around 140-pound snow load. You stay away from the edges. The snow's not deep if you fall off. You understand? Callie?
Okay.
But a couple of weeks ago, it got warm enough that we actually got some rain. Rain and snow can be a scary combination with a roof. So on the porch in the back addition, we have the snow that slid off the second story, combined with about a 2-inch layer of ice. And that's more weight than I want sitting on here, especially as we're really getting into winter.
The first half, and then I'm breaking it up and pushing it off. What I did is I started about right here, and I scooped as much of the loose snow, I pushed it off, and I pushed it out as far as I could.
I asked Callie and Reed and Cedar to help me get this snow off the roof. Now, I've already caught Reed trying to get on the roof a couple different times. We had about a 4-foot snowbank where we had shoveled the snow off the roof, which meant it was only about a 4-foot drop from the top of the roof. I knew that Rhett was going to try and jump off, and the snow was fluffy enough where I allowed them to do what I knew they were going to do under my supervision.
Hello? Mama!
Water, please.
Water, dude? Where's the water bottles? Thank you to all you men who shovel for a living. That is hard work.
The house I grew up in Mesa, Arizona also had a very low-pitched roof that me and my brothers were regularly getting onto. While my dad definitely didn't like this, there was just something about that roof that we had to get onto. So hopefully by letting Reed get up here with me, he can see that it's not as much as it's cracked up to be and not have that desire to get up here. Winter's coming, and there's a new year just around the corner.